back. We are still in the midst of our Linen Appreciation Month celebrations. So this video, we're going to focus in on 3 of the 9 linen and linen blend yarns that we carry in at the shop, the Twisted Skein. And the 3 that we're going to deal with this week are the most linen-y of the linen yarns. All 3 of them are 100% linen. I guess it doesn't get much more linen-y than 100%.
It really doesn't, and you can really tell that they feel different from the ones that we have that are linen blends.
They do. The linen blends have much different qualities in terms of the way they feel, their drapiness, their luster. All 3 of the yarns that we're going to talk about now have that sort of, not gritty, but that sort of firm, crispy, crunchy linenness when you feel them in the skein, when you first start working with them before they get blocked down.
And even the ones that feel especially linen-y, I think they feel nice in the skein.
They do.
So.
Yeah, they're different from cuddly wool or soft baby cottons, but they're for something. They have interesting, cool qualities, and that's why we're doing this whole series. So the first yarn we're going to talk about is Euroflex. And Euroflex was made by Louette, but it is now owned by Lofty Fiber. And it is a wet spun linen. It's traditionally plied, just so you can see if I get that close to you. Maybe? No? A traditional yarn structure. It's very smooth to the touch, but it's kind of stiff feeling. Even after this swatch has been handled for a long time, it has a lot of structure and a lot of shine and a lot of gloss. And I guess this is the archetypal. This is a linen yarn. So it goes through those life stages where it starts with that sort of crisp feeling in the hand, and then like we talked about before, the more linen gets manipulated, the more it gets handled, the more those fibers break down and become softer and softer and drapier and drapier.
Going back to what you were saying about the structure, though, with this one, I noticed when I was working with it that when we did the seed stitch part of the pattern, the seed stitch really was well defined and stuck out.
It really is. Can you see that? It has a very, very strong definition. The part of having the firm structure means that even though it's sort of limp compared to a springy wool, the dimension of this seed stitch, even the cables, they're flatter than you would get in a similarly spun wool, but they still have a lot of dimension. 2 of the other yarns we're going to show you now have less of that quality than this one. This one, it still has a lot of work that you can see that goes into it. We have a piece right over here which was crocheted up by a friend of ours who crochets a lot of beautiful, beautiful shawls and lets us display them sometimes. And what is the name of this shawl?
This one is called the Mariola shawl.
Mariola shawl by Kirsten Bishop.
Yep.
And this is in Euroflex in Orchid. I don't know if you can sort of hold up a side of it there so we can take a look at it. So you can see,
Ooh, I'm losing it.
No, don't lose it.
Okay.
Totally unrehearsed, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, dear. Okay. There, I'll just hold up the whole thing.
Good. We didn't even have to
cover my face.
We didn't even have to put up a technical difficulties screen. So yeah, you can see the luster on this, the glow of this, how open and flowy and drapey it is. It's just a quintessentially beautiful lace summer shawl. So we'll put a link to that in the description in case you're an avid crocheter. This works up quickly and beautifully and really shows off the linen yarn, I think. All right, do you think we can get it back over there? Do you want to hold it?
Yeah, I'm just
Okay. It's a security shawl. We're starting the trend of security lace here. A security blanket is too warm for this climate. And you were in contact with someone when you were doing this research who has a lot of designs in Euroflex.
Yeah. Knitbird on Ravelry.
We'll link in the description.
And her name is actually Jerry Riggs, and she designed a whole bunch of beautiful vests. One in particular, she designed. She designed it, and then she did like 5 iterations of this same vest.
Right.
I think that was the Lily of the Valley vest, I think, or the Leaf Shadows vest, one of those. Right. But yeah, here we're showing the Leaf Shadows vest is the one that I picked out for this episode.
Let's take a look at that one. Just like the open work, the lace.
Yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous.
You said before that's what draws you into linen when you look at it. How like the open work is just so open. Of course, you can make lace out of anything if you put your mind to it. But the way it hangs, the way things really open up, and like you take the lightness and the crispness of linen, and then you combine it with lace knitting and crochet in it.
Yeah, so her patterns are really cool. I highly recommend checking her out on Ravelry. We should have a link for her in our description.
Cool stuff. The 2 other yarns that we're going to look at.
But do we want to? Oh, never mind. That's a different yarn.
We do want to do that thing he was going to suggest, but we're going to do it in just a minute.
Mm-hmm. Tim has an intrusive got action on this.
Right, let's get it done right now.
Yeah.
So the next 2 yarns that we have a similar construction to one another, even though they're both very, very different yarns. These are both chainette constructed yarns, meaning that the individual plies of the yarn, rather than being sort of plied and spun together like a yarn, they're sort of almost crocheted together into a little chain. I don't even know if I can open that up for you. I can't. It's ridiculous of me to try, but it means they both have this like nubbly texture. They have the same sort of crispness that the Euroflex does.
I think especially Stonewash does.
Yeah. So this is Linen Stonewash by Barocco. We have a running joke. Okay, so there are a few things, and we'll share these with you over the course of Super Bulky as we go on, but there are a few things you hear a lot if you work in a yarn store. And one of them is, this would go great with jeans. I don't know what that's about, but you hear it a lot. And people are always really excited about it. As a sidebar, I think most things will go okay with jeans. Like if you're going to wear jeans, they're pretty neutral.
That's kind of the whole idea about jeans.
But this would go great with jeans. No, this looks like jeans to me. It has a very denim-y feel in all the colorways. This one happens to be this sort of indigo blue. But all of them have this kind of sort of denim-y look.
I mean, if you're the kind of brave soul who would care to wear a jeans color thing with a jeans pair of jeans,
right? So
like more power to you, I
jeans,
guess. But...
a jean jacket, a denim shirt, and then like a linen stonewash stole for your full like elegant head to toe denim appearance. If anyone wants to do that, please send us a picture. But no, this has those same qualities. But even more so, and probably due to the fact that its gauge is larger, but the construction has something to do with it. The linen of Euroflex, it's not a terribly stretchy swatch. Mm-hmm. You make it into open work, and then the open work is as open as it opens. This is incredibly stretchy. Don't you find?
Yeah. It definitely has a lot more stretch to it.
It's not springy.
Why is that, do you think? Is it because of the chainette construction?
Probably a combination of the chainette construction and just the gauge at which it's worked. It's a higher weight. It's in the DK range rather than the sport range. This one is smaller yet. It's in the fingering range, but look, it still has a higher degree of stretchiness. This is Reed by Shibui, and it's beautiful. If you're familiar with Shibui yarns, even if you're not familiar with Shibui yarns, the thing I'm about to tell you isn't going to change based on whether you're familiar with them or not. Shibui yarns are very elegant, and they have a kind of simple, not rustic like log cabin, but
it's kind of natural and
yeah,
organic looking.
Natural and organic. Look up the Wikipedia article for what Shibui design means in terms of like the Japanese movement, and Shibui yarns.
Oh, I just read about that. Like on the internet just the other day. It's like where something isn't completely perfect, or like there are like a roof that's a little bit crooked but it looks charming somehow.
Right. Yeah, yeah. So the Shibui look is that sort of, yeah, it's natural, it's organic looking. And this is very natural and organic looking. We have this top, which is the Cullum Tee by Isabel Kramer, which was knit up in Shibui reed. And you can see, if you get up close to this top, it has some little like nubbly bits and tiny imperfections that just give it a very sort of natural appearance. But taken as a whole, the fabric is very elegant, and the little inconsistencies make it look very charming and well produced. And I think that's one of the really neat things about the Shibui line in general, and Reed, this 100% linen yarn. So all three of these yarns have very, very crisp hands. We've seen all kinds of absolutely gorgeous work that people have made, and we'll share some of that if you look in the description of this video, and we'll be putting together some blog posts that we'll link to show off a lot of things. What else? Anything else you'd like to share about these yarns? Any impressions?
I would like to note that we specifically want to show off the Cesare purse pattern that's by Barocco.
Oh yeah, Barocco for a linen stone wash.
Yeah, that one's really
just
cool.
Like a little bag.
And then for Shibui Reed, we have Raveler Singing Sheep, and the pattern that they did was called the Hitofude cardigan by Hiroko Fukatsu, and that one's really pretty too. Like the open work in that was just amazing.
So we'll share those. So next week we'll be back with 3 more linen blend yarns. We'll also be back with free patterns next week. So stay tuned for that. You can't beat free patterns. And then after that, we'll be back with even more yarns. That's what we're doing. So happy Linen Appreciation Month. I hope you're getting interested in linen. If you are a linen user, if you are already in love with the linen yarns, tell us about that. Send us some messages. Give us some comments. Let us know what you think, what your favorite linen yarns are, and what sort of things you love to be making with them. So in the meantime, happy knitting, have fun, happy crocheting, happy weaving. I guess there are weavers out there.
Yeah, I wanted to say one of the patterns that we're going to show off, or one of the projects, is going to be a woven project. And I've got, for 2 of our upcoming episodes, I think, for one of them in particular, it's going to be crochet heavy, because I found some really beautiful crochet projects that people did. I'm really excited about that.
Awesome.
And I'm interrupting the outro.
On with the outro. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you next time. This has been Super Bulky.